name's Dawson. I worked at Mr. Beast from February to May of this year, 2024. Chris is the tip of the iceberg. And when Jake the Viking says, Mr. Beast knew, yeah, Mr. Beast knew.
Just a couple of weeks ago, Mr. Beast was the most loved YouTuber on the planet. Some people even wanted him to run for president.
I would love to. I just feel like you have to do a lot of politics leading up to it. And, no one ever has done this, just being a celebrity to just be president. That would be great.
But this kind of facts though, bro. Mr. Beast low-key been don't do it.
Everything went downhill when it came out he was a fraud and a hypocrite. You might think I'm exaggerating, but if you stick around till the end, I'll reveal the shady stuff Mr. Beast's team doesn't want you to see. YouTube might want to take this video down, so I need your support now more than ever. Jimmy knew his best friend Chris Tyson was up to no good. They've known each other like brothers for over 15 years.
Well,
yet he
brother and sister, but
pretended to be clueless to protect both of their reputations. He even tried to back Chris up until he saw the hate train coming his way.
I feel like Mr. Beast only kept Chris probably for like brand deals and shit. Which will low-key be smart as fuck. Oh, okay. Slimy mod. Yo, look. Listen. Because obviously not anymore. I don't think Mr. Beast is gonna be getting much brand deals, but like, bro, he could have got hella brand deals when Chris became trans. I'm just saying, bro.
To kick Chris off his channel. But don't be fooled, he didn't do it out of guilt or shame. He did it to protect the millions he's racked up by deceiving people. This takes us to the next tweet. Like Jimmy does it. He clearly has legal counsel. I think I know what the next video will be about. But what can we expect from a guy who openly admitted to hating chocolate and pretends to love to get money from his fans?
Honestly, chocolate's disgusting.
Our Feast of Most Chocolate and Cookies just launched at every single Walmart across America.
But the worst doesn't end here. 500,000
people's taste buds do change though.
Discord messages have been leaked showing Chris talking inappropriately to minors. As if that wasn't enough, most of the challenges and sweepstakes were found to be rigged. Seriously, think about it. How can someone give away hundreds of thousands of dollars to any random person just for breathing? I can understand now that he has over $700 million net worth. However, he was not always so well off. Many of Mr. Beast's videos are clearly scripted, which is a shame as I used to consume much of his content.
You got out first. I still have a prize for you. Just wait here.
Oh, first person out gets a car, and it just happened to be your friend Mac.
This isn't to say there aren't any real winners. I'm not saying every single video is scripted, but that's how scams go. If you run 100 contests and every single one has a fake winner, you're bound to get caught eventually. So what did the Mr. Beast team do? They probably threw in the occasional real prize to cover up the fraud. If he had actually given away as much money as he claimed, he'd never have been able to make
stream. Everybody like the stream.
first place.
We're reacting to
$100,000 in one video and then give away $200,000 in the next. That's not how business works. Mr. Beast tries to tell us he's not in it for the money, but that's one of his biggest lies. Just explain to me, why is all his content monetized? Do you honestly think someone with properties and businesses isn't doing it for the cash?
Okay, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. You wanna know why? It's his fucking job. Obviously, he's gonna monetize his shit. It's literally, I just said, what's good, the Eclipse? It is literally bro's job. Everybody like the stream, by the way. It is literally his job. Obviously, he's gonna monetize his fucking content. And the money he makes, he puts it towards his next video. I'm not gonna lie, that does not need much fucking brain power to comprehend, but apparently it does. The whole thing about the shit being rigged, that's kind of okay. That's wild. What's good, Julie? Yeah, that's wild. But
More inclined to believe him if he just had his YouTube channel. But he's also got a burger chain and his own chocolate brand.
Burger
He's
chain's been
basically a
shut down,
blend
but,
of Ronald McDonald and Willy Wonka. And as far as I know, neither of those guys is known for being broke. But hey, you don't have to take my word for it. Why trust me when one of Jimmy's former employees has already come out to expose his lies?
This is a real-time video, meaning that time elapses the same in the video as it does in real life. Now, immediately, the intro is sped up, and the timer is clearly added in post, and he clearly touches the laser here, but whatever, let's assume that it's all real-time. When he reaches the bottom floor, he has to turn these water valves. Now, you can tell that these valves aren't actually connected to anything because the water flows out in an instant, and it happens when he's not even touching the valve. The contestant also goes back to the first valve, unaware that anything had happened, and he's still able to spin it. So the valve seems to spin freely and isn't actually connected to the flow of water. So you could assume that producers might be off camera with remote switches to trigger the flow of water. And assuming they've tested this, the producers might know how long it takes for the water to clear out of the room, so they could sort of decide on the fly how many turns of the valve it takes, or just when to trigger the water in general to make the results close. And in this video, spoiler alert, the contestant wins the money. So rigging the challenge could be seen as a good thing. There are many examples of contestants losing.
Unfortunately, Mr. Beast's shady practices don't stop there. If you ever thought you had a real shot at winning any of his sweepstakes, I'm afraid you were mistaken.
Place an order at shopmrbeast.com. Anyone watching any of the lives. And we're going to throw iPhones in some of them.
And again, there are very few videos of this live stream on the internet. I think Mr. Beast probably copyright strikes re-uploads. But almost any clip you do find will have some new violation of internet gambling or sweepstakes laws.
I thought it was him. I was like, keep going. Wait, let's go. Wait, that's literally like his initial. Who is it? Wait, really?
Actually, that's illegal.
Some of the common complaints we see in threads about this live stream are that they only signed large t-shirts. So when they selected an order to give a prize, it was apparently always a large or extra large t-shirt. They kept saying things like, buy in the next 15 minutes for a chance to win, and then not honoring it. Multiple people claiming that their name was read to win a prize, and they never received it. This person is still tweeting about it to this day. There's a lot more people complaining about the deceptive sales tactic.
If he can lie to us about such simple things, what makes you think he can't lie to you about everything else? One of Mr. Beast's employees tried to brush off these claims with a tweet as long as Chris Tyson's porn history, but much of his evidence screams, "Trust me, bro." Speaking of Chris Tyson, I think the time has come to destroy this pedophile. I went through many Discord messages which seriously mess with my head. When Mr. Beast's team realized they were about to get called out, they tried to erase everything.
Someone just texted me. Hold on. I'll stop it. So, there's this girl, right? She was in my DM. She was like, hold up.
To save themselves, but they totally screwed it up. All their attempts to cover up the truth were caught and are all over the internet. These images show the crimes of this team of degenerates. The craziest part is that a huge chunk of Mr. Beast's audience comprises kids. How many children have consumed his content, not knowing that one of the team members had such disturbing thoughts about them? Fortunately, one of Chris's victims decided to expose him to protect all the minors who are part of his Discord channel.
Chris Tyson from MrBeast used me, manipulated me, and did very inappropriate things with me while I was about 15 years old. I was actually friends with Lava GS at the time, who is the main victim of Chris that everyone has been talking about these last few days, who claims he isn't a victim, but we all know he is, and we all know he probably got paid off. Not only that, but he's also under an NDA from when he worked for MrBeast Gaming for 2 years, and he tried to get me to join MrBeast Gaming himself, Lava. He's the one who actually sent me the contract and tried to get me to sign the NDA, at which point I ended our friendship because I knew they were just trying to silence me. Me and him were both initially involved in running Chris's Discord server, helping him set up his Twitch streams and moderating them.
Nate's calling me. Hey, what's up? You're on stream.
You just read your address, please, in your stream.
As well as other technical back-end things that he needed help with. This Discord server that we were a part of had about 10 people in it, most of whom were minors. I'm not sure how they got in there, other than me and Lava. He won a giveaway and Chris invited him after that, and Chris invited me after I saw one of his tweets asking for help setting up a Garry's Mod server for the 10 million subscriber MrBeast video. This turned into us having lots of private conversations with Chris and playing video games with him for hours on end. Not only did we do a lot of unpaid work for him that he promised he would pay us for, he would also frequently bring up sexual topics that was definitely not appropriate to bring up around 15, 16-year-olds, especially with him being like, I don't know, 20, 21 years old. He would even go as far as linking me several different porn and hentai videos throughout the time of me talking with him. Not only that, but he had an NSFW bot in his Discord server before he made it public. So when it was just a private
Chris
server,
56 about stomach, yeah. Go watch the Chris diss track, by the way.
Circle of minors, and he would use this NSFW bot to spam different corn images, alongside all these 15-year-olds. He would also frequently call me dad and daddy, as well as the others,
bro.
which I guess we all kind of just took as a joke at the time. You have to think this is someone who we looked up to at the time, we idolized, we thought was the coolest person in the world, so they couldn't really do any wrong in our eyes. But looking back, I was definitely uncomfortable at being called daddy by a 20-year-old, and even just thinking about it now, it's just uncomfortable. This server later went public and became his official Discord server, but before it did, he had me and Lava spend multiple days scrubbing this Discord server clean of all of the N-words he had sent in it, as well as his friends, as well as deleting the NSFW channels and making sure no one could see that he was spamming corn to minors.
He called a 15-year-old teenager daddy. That tells you everything you should know about him. I think one of the reasons Chris Tyson hasn't gotten beaten up yet is because he has a media shield. He spent so much time building his reputation, thanks to his closeness with MrBeast, that some people have a hard time believing he's done half the atrocities he's accused of. Sadly, the worst doesn't end there. Chris Tyson supported cartoonist C.P. Shadman in drawing Keemstar's 8-year-old daughter in a sexual way. He has also repeatedly acknowledged how he is turned on by Lolis. A tweet from 2017 shows Chris fantasizing about a 4-year-old girl. This is probably the most disgusting thing I've ever read. Dr. Disrespect lost his career for much less, and yet people didn't seem half as outraged as this predator. I found more screenshots of Chris's Discord that could destroy his and MrBeast's careers twice. But there's way more to this than you can imagine. I could make an hour-long video and still have screenshots to show you.
Yeah,
Chris
bro.
also asked his former college roommate, aka Discount Milk, if their NSFW channel should have gore or just pornography. This channel was accessible to minors, which made the situation even more concerning. I've read some comments from people who find it hard to believe that their favorite idol could be a pedophile. Here's Chris Tyson himself admitting the existence of these Discord messages. But wait, because I've saved the best for last. He's so scared of taking a beating that he has to become transgender. Before anyone insults me in the comments, I have no problem with trans people. Honestly, I don't have a problem with anyone. But I hate pedophiles, and I refuse to allow Chris to escape this scandal without facing any consequences. He knows full well that he can pretend to be part of a minority to accuse anyone who points the finger at him of being transphobic, and that is terribly wrong. Worst of all, I think Chris might get away with this. Now that he's embraced his feminine side, he'll likely use woke culture to shield himself from any real consequences, making it harder for anyone to give him the punch he deserves.
Like, it's weird
this is
to know
what
that
happens
that's the
when
same
we have a
person as
society that punishes masculinity
fucking
but
Chris
turns
in
a blind eye to
2018.
perverts. But just when Chris thought he was going to get away with it, his own sister stepped up on Twitter,
Then
calling
Miss Sister
him a
said something?
fetishist and narcissist who even stole her clothes. If your own family doesn't come out to defend you,
Damn,
you're
bro.
screwed. As you can see, there is more
Hooked.
than enough evidence to frame Ava Chris Tyson. So why did it take Mr. Beast so long to admit what his friend had done? None of this would have gotten this far had it not been for Jimmy's complicity. He knew the truth from the beginning and kept it from us. People began to express their unhappiness with Mr. Beast for covering up for his best friend by censoring comments and legally threatening anyone who spoke out against him or his team. As a result, his video, Survive 100 Days in a Nuclear Bunker, Win $500,000, was immediately bombarded with over 1 million dislikes and
God damn.
thousands of comments saying, "We know what you did, Jimmy." He has tried so hard to hide this scandal that he has turned much of his fan base against him. The internet has taught me that trust is everything, and it's tough to get back once it's gone. If we can't trust Jimmy, can we trust the rest of his team? Who knows what they might have done? We need more Chandlers to wash our minds of all this propaganda the media has tried to sell us. I think the next few weeks will be key for Mr. Beast. Whether he survives or dies from this crisis will depend solely on how he plays his cards. However, the scandal has not only revealed a Discord channel full of pedophiles, it has unmasked the challenges and sweepstakes we put so much faith in. So, no matter what this controversy ends in, people will never look at Mr. Beast the same again.
That's
Who
fair.
wants to follow a YouTuber who gives out fake prizes, runs fraudulent sweepstakes, and is associated with human garbage? Even the entire trans community has suffered because of one person's actions.
Have fun, boys. Have fun, boys. Have fun, boys. Have fun, boys. Boys.
I feel like Chris's family is the real victim of this scandal. I read a comment that his son asked his mother where his father was. That's fucking sad, man. His wife and son don't deserve what he's putting them through. Do you think Mr. Beast can bounce back, or is he done for good? Leave your thoughts in the comments.
Well, Mr. Beast can't be done. You know what I mean? Like, the man probably has so many young fans that probably have no idea what's going on. If you really think about it. And money-wise, he's chilling.